important reminder. All information and ideas are for informational purposes only and are in no way intended as medical advice or as a substitute for medical counseling. Earthshift Products, Dr. Robert Cassar, all of their partners, affiliates, and subsidiaries will not be held accountable for the use or misuse of the information presented therein. This information is not intended as medical advice. The authors, publishers, and speakers of this work are not medical doctors and do not recommend the use of mineral-deficient foods, drugs, or medicines to achieve beauty and to alleviate health challenges. Because there is always some risk involved, all persons involved with the development and distribution of this information are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences of any kind resulting from the use or misuse of any suggestions or procedures described on our website or Earthshift Live radio talk show or therein.
But there's beauty in there. You know, there's beauty in heartbreak, there's beauty in sorrow, there's beauty in tenderness, there's beauty in illness and death and disease and all that. Plenty of it. Sweet, sweet, sweet pain. Let's flick it on, brother. You've got to want it. These times are the greatest of all times in your recorded history. Though they are difficult and challenging times, you chose to live here during this time for the purpose of the fulfillment that it would bring you. You chose. So we can just victim out the window. You know what I mean? It's either real or it isn't. It's either it is real or it isn't. It's either just like, you know, we believe this whole bunch of horseshit, or we accept another model that is so awesome. You know? All of you have been promised for ere so long that you would see God in your lifetime. Yet lifetime after lifetime you never allowed yourselves to see it. In this lifetime most of you will indeed. You will see a magnificent kingdom emerge here, and civilizations will come forth that you have not even the slightest notion existed, and a new wind will blow, and love, peace and joy in being will grace this blessed place, the emerald of your universe and the home of God. Let's just close our eyes and just have a little moment there. It's a love story. It's all about relationship. That's all there is, relationship. With that divinity, with that presence, with that almighty, eternal, infinite ocean of love that laps against the shore of your soul every moment, every day. It's a love story. If you're not in love with it, you're not connected. It's not about believing in God. You don't have to believe in it. It's knowing. Next slide, brother. Oh, that's good. Oh. So we all know what that is, don't we? Yeah. These little bubbles, you know, the little bubbles of consciousness. There's, you know, you can't count them even in one cell, let alone the whole universe and, you know, the cosmos and the eternity. You know, that's why we need to surrender. It's like, oh, you know. Just let go, surrender to it. It's all about relationship. Divine relationship. And we're a little bubble of consciousness. And that bubble gets popped. And then you have to integrate stuff. You know, when you go through a traumatic experience, you know, or a wonderful experience, you know, if you open your heart in love with someone, you share that, it's like, oh, I just need a little inspiration time here. You know, just need to. We're dealing with the power of life coming through. We're dealing with the eternal, the infinite, as big as it is, coming through as small as it is in us. We're so sensitive. We're exquisitely sensitive. Consciousness is exquisitely sensitive. There's nothing more sensitive than the soul. It doesn't matter how much armor plating you put on. It's not going to get you anywhere. You have to get into that tenderness, the beauty of your own tenderness, and offer yourself with a weeping heart. The warrior doesn't put armor on here. That's what Jesus' sacred heart is, the bleeding heart. This is the Buddhist warrior Shambhala teachings talking as well. The warrior takes it all off. The warrior, true warrior, is removing every barrier that prevents me from connecting, from being fully present with you people. with everyone, with everything. And that's fearless. Fearless. And you need it to deal with the machine, with the monster. When you go out to meet Goliath, you've got to be so connected to what Goliath's made of. Not like, oh man, this apparition. You've got to be tuned in to what Goliath's made of, and just having an organic relationship with that, with those particles of creation, with that consciousness that's filming. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful, eternal, perfect mystery. Okay, baby, here's another slide. So what are we? I've been like, how do you communicate what's invisible to us? Trying to work it out. Snowflakes. There's never been a snowflake the same as another one. We know that, don't we? They're all different. There's never been a raindrop, never been a blade of grass, never been a flower petal. Everything's different. It's infinite creativity. And the intricacy of the soul, you see, the soul is like that bubble. The soul is like that bubble, and it holds if we are the eternal and the infinite flow of life, that consciousness, that living stream that's boundless. If we are that, then in order to individualize, we just need a little membrane, a little bubble. But that bubble is sensitive, it reaches out, it's got to connect. I mean, how many receptor cells are there on the side, receptor sites on a cell that have to connect with neurochemicals, neurotransmitters, chemical messengers? Give us the next slide, bro. We have to connect. We're in the ocean of life. It's like this is what we are. We're so sensitive. I come out of that warrior thing. I've been playing rugby. I was an unbeaten amateur boxer in New Zealand. I fought the European light heavyweight kickboxing champion 3 times after a few months of Thai boxing training. I know what it's like to chop guys up really violently. Believe me, I do. And that's not the sensitivity that you need to really all those martial artists, the masters, they've got to live in the forest, the mountain, stream. And they go all like that, they start writing poetry and everything's beautiful, they don't need to eat and everything's just... They live like being this still lake. I was in Green Lake today on my own this morning, which is so amazing, a couple hours in there. In fact, those still waters are inside you. You want the juice, you want mastery, go to the living waters within you. Find the still waters within. It's a beautiful thing. And those masters that go there, if it's in the warrior thing, all those young guys are all, pumping up, smashing bricks and everything. They just get flipped around. David whoops Goliath. Easy. No contest. One shot. The power's there. If we can connect. It's so sensitive. Next slide, please, my dear. Woo! Soul consciousness. Soul consciousness. There's a book on there called Soul Consciousness. Soul consciousness is that point of light. Understand this. If you want to start messing with eternity and infinity, if you want to open your mind, open your awareness, expand your mind, and you start looking at eternity, smoking, doing drugs, entheogens, hallucinogenic stuff, like whoa, ayahuasca, all that stuff, you better have soul consciousnus, else you're gone. You just are not, one of those burnout spin-outs that just, you just see drifting by, Hey man. Soul consciousness is eternity and infinity in a point of light within you. And it's a balance point within you. If we could add the geometry in here, I want to talk to you about Kane, by the way. I hear you like the geometry whiz. Thinking, bro, how we can make this more multi-dimensional presentation. So, if we added geometry in here, which is physicality, which is the physical body, then we'd see how the geometrics fit perfectly over this center. And you need to find that center within you through that innocence, through that love, and imagine it as a tiny point of light, the soul, which has got the whole of life within it. So you can concentrate on eternity within you as a point of light. I teach something called angel qigong, and all we do is this. This is all we do. That's the only movement we do. And there's a whole visualization and stuff with it. I'm here for a few more days, so anyone who wants to learn it, I'd love to share. And when you go to that center within you of soul consciousness, just close your eyes and just imagine a tiny point of light. And you have to imagine it with your feelings. It's a love story. It's always a love story. You've got to love your food, love your soul, love the eternal, love everything. So imagine this point of light within you, and bring the tenderness, the beauty of your own tenderness and sensitivity into that visualization. And know in your heart of hearts, in your soul of soul, be certain that that contains all of life within it, everything that ever is, was, and ever shall be.